This is an $80 cooler from Noctua. But this cooler is very easy to install, and because we need access up here, the side cooler is so large, it makes it, if you guys have watched my other videos, you'll notice it makes it difficult for me to plug this cable on after I put the heatsink on. So I have to change the order of how I do things. Right. But with this heatsink on, I have no problem reaching in there. The steps to removing the side cooler or any tower air is first you must remove the fan, because the fan covers one of the screws that's holding the heatsink in. And the fan is then plugged in here. So you would either need to unplug the fan or move it where it isn't going to fall or hurt anything. Then you can pull the heatsink off, and then you can get to this connector. To spend $30 more, right, to me is worth it. It seems to cool in many ways identically. But again, I don't have any problem with the Moving 5. I do still like it. This is just a preference. You getting this unboxing? Oh yeah. All of the mounting hardware is here. And then our cooler and fan are located here. And then they have like this origami wings. See how that opens? Yep. And this will just slide right out. There's no thermal compound pre-applied, but this is still protecting and keeping the surface clear of any contamination or oils from your skin. So we're going to leave that on. In this box is all of our mounting hardware. And if you notice, we have 3 different sets of direction. One for AMD, see where it says AMD right there? One for Intel socket 115X, which is also socket 1200, by the way. And then one for the higher end Intel socket 20XX. You see this little section right here? Yep. That's your AMD section. Okay. Isn't that nice? Yeah. This is your Intel section. And then this is your case badge, your thermal compound. There's also extra fan hangers if you wanted to add an additional fan. There's that blister making screwdriver, if you want to call it a screwdriver. And then these are additional anti-vibration pads if you were going to add a fan on the other side. Okay. Now this section up here, this is our Intel section. So these are the brackets we need for Intel. These are the screws we need for Intel right here. And underneath, that's the bracket we need for Intel. Okay. You notice we don't have to, on other coolers, you have to see me push these, what are these called? These screws, sometimes on some of the cooler brackets, they have like a long elongated cut, and then you can position it at the front, at the back, or in the middle, depending on which socket you have. This is all done for you. Nice. And because this is for 2 different types of Intel sockets, there's going to be some of these little standoffs will be extra. Okay. Because you use one type for socket 1151, use a different type for socket 20XX. Now you'll notice this bracket, it's got these 2 holes here and then this cutout at the top. And if we turn the motherboard over, because this goes behind the board, you'll notice sometimes I hesitate when the manufacturers of other coolers give me the bracket and I don't know which way it goes on. Sometimes it matters. Hyper 212 Evo from Cooler Master, it matters. And like I said, you got to put these pins in yourself and they can be kind of wonky. But because this is already done for you, and because these holes, they automatically, without any further instruction, it should be pretty obvious. You see these 2 screws? One here, one here. You see this one here? What do you think? The notch goes because in theory, below. I want you to think about this. In theory, we could put this on this way. Yeah. We could also put this on this way. We could also put this on this way. Okay. And finally, the right way. The right way, and you can tell it's the right way because look at how the holes line up. Now those spacers are going to go over this non-threaded area of these screws, and then these brackets are going to sit on top. But do you notice how there's capacitors right here? Mm-hmm. And here? Without those spacers, we could crush those capacitors. Right. See this is. Now these brackets can go on, and you want, if you notice the bracket, it says this side up, That's a nice touch. Not a lot of manufacturers do that. Does it go on this way? Does it go on that way? We don't want that. See how that screw is standing up, that stud? If we turn this upside down, it could collide with one of these capacitors, and if you torque that down, punch a hole right through it, you're done. That's not a warranty issue. And you notice these can go on this way. These can go on this way. This can go on upside down. You could make it fit. You can even put it on backwards. But it's not going to work. On an Intel platform, that goes over the latch. And the opposite side is symmetrical, meaning it's the exact opposite. You'll notice, remember when I said they have these elongated holes where there's 3 positions? That's often found on the back plates where you have to put the studs in yourself. That only exists here, and it doesn't really require any rocket surgery because there's no other way to align it. You'll see we have thumb screws, and then we have these standoffs. A socket 20XX from Intel doesn't need a bracket. It's already built in. So all you have to do literally is screw this down onto the motherboard's bracket, onto the motherboard CPU socket. It's got threaded holes. You see there's a short side and a long side? Yep. And that's unique to Intel's, it's like their X series of processors. These thumb screws that we have, they don't go here. They go over here. And you know how you know that? There's only 2 of these, but there's 4 of these. Okay. Okay, so we'll just start by tightening these down, or getting them started before we tighten them down, I should say. The fan has to come off because the screw is underneath. And you see how there's 2 screws? Yep. And you see how there's 2 points? Those 2 studs? Yep. So these are a female style of thread, when in a lot of other coolers, it's the other way around. So Noctua was kind of reversed that. You see this crossbar? Like when I do the Pure Rock 2 from Be Quiet, you have to put the crossbar in, and it's like, which way does it go? Does it go this way? Does it go that way? This is already mounted for you. And this is a pain in the butt on the Hyper 212 Evo, by the way. This is the scissor thing you always see me struggling with. This is what makes this part of it a pleasure, because everything's already done for you. Once you apply your thermal compound, you're going to put this in where this fan is closest to your RAM. Okay. This fan does not go up or down. Nope. You couldn't put it on that way if you tried. It has to either go with the fan facing the RAM or the fan facing the I/O. When that's screwed down, you'll see over here how much room it leaves for the RAM. We're not going to bump up against it. For us to lock this cooler down, I have to take the fan off. And the way the fan comes off, you have these little hangers here. Now I'm going to grab some thermal compound. Now here in this bag, right here, Mitch, you got this bag? This little thing right here is called a low noise adapter. Do you know how you generate less noise on a fan? You lower its speed. You know what happens when you lower its speed? It's not act. So we don't use these. Here's our thermal compound. This is standard Noctua NH1. My clients don't want to pay for something where they're not going to know a difference. So we're going to put a dab on there about like that. If you're pushing on your thermal compound and you lift your finger up and it's not sticking, that's old thermal compound. Even if it's expensive thermal compound, it's no good anymore. It's expired. Then you'll see I'm going to tap it. Okay. If I put it this way, the words, you see how the words are going this way on the heatsink? Yep. I want to follow that same orientation. That seems to be an industry standard. It has nothing to do with the efficacy of the cooler. It's all about the aesthetic, and it just looks right. You'll notice I give them a few turns and switch to the other side. It's just like when you tighten a tire on a car. You don't want to tighten one bolt and move on to the next. You want to go to the opposite bolt. If you hear a little squeaking, that's normal as it tightens down. Once these are fully tightened, you'll know because they will come to a complete and dead stop. Just like that one did. This side where all these support brackets are, this is the side that the air is moving in. Right. this side where the fan is spinning, this is the side that's pulling air in. So I want the air to get pulled in and blow through this radiator. And then I don't want to wrap this cable all the way around to come over here. So what I want to think about is where this power cable is going to plug in here. So when I'm deciding, and Noctua helps you with that, if you leave these little metal brackets on the way you took it off, then I can just align the bottom just the way it was, right? And then you pull on this hanger and it locks in. Come over to the other side, I'll show you. You got to hold it now. There we go. Here on the board, there's a different color fan header. That's our CPU fan header. And you'll see there's little grooves on the plug. See those grooves?
Yep.
And then you see this plastic piece that's sticking up?
Yep.
That ensures that you plug this connector on the, it won't go on this way. It's got to go on. So those grooves hug.
Slide right in, yeah.
Now I realize you're just looking at my hand right now. There's not much I can do about that. But once you align it correctly, that's how it looks when it's proper. You notice how I fold the cable in on itself? I don't just roll it in a ball. I put the flat edges together.
Okay.